Look, I'm coming to you with an urgent message. Every single one of our followers, our fans, I gotta let you know something.
Oh, man, it's happening too fast. Look, people don't want you to be notified of what we're doing here. They don't want you to be notified when we go live. And then now you get sad because you didn't realize we were live and you missed all that information that you took. Oh, God, they're after me. Look, all you gotta do is click the bell. Just click the bell, and you'll be notified every time we go live. I promise you. Look, hurry up. I ain't got a lot of time. Let's go.
We are oppressed. We are exploited. We are downtrodden. We are denied not only civil rights, but even human rights. So the only way we're going to get some of this oppression and exploitation away from us or aside from us is come together against the common enemy.
Hey, good evening to everybody tonight. Did that make sense? Evening and night. Yeah, that makes sense. Good evening, everybody. I had to double check myself at first. But hey, it's Wednesday, quote unquote hump day. Hope everybody's day been great. Grateful to have you here. God bless. And we got our second episode of Unfiltered for National Women's Month. And we are continually focusing on our wonderful women. So I just want to say just thank you to all the ladies out there. Of course, my co-host is with me right here today. We are one minus, but he should be along. If not, we'll go ahead and keep it going for you as well. So, without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and let Miss Hills introduce herself. And then we're going to get started with our podcast because we got a great set of topics for you tonight. We're going to have a really good time. All right.
Yes. Hey, good evening, everybody. Thank you for checking in, tuning in, listening in, wherever you at. I hope you enjoyed today because we got a lot of good topics. So, always representing for the ladies. Let's get into it.
All right. So, we had another lady, and I'm kind of going to make fun of her too, but I mean, it is what it is. I'm gonna can I just tell people when you get cell phones, make sure you know who you get them from because there's a lot of fraudulent things out here, and I really feel bad because she kind of got, played. I feel real bad. I feel awful for her. But we had someone that's gonna be on this bad boy, and unfortunately. Her phone won't let her utilize the stream. She was fighting back tears. I had to get her calmed down. And I just had to kind of take her to a little bit of therapy and say, don't buy phones from toy stores. I think she feels a little better now. Because she had to admit it to herself. But it's okay. And we appreciate you, ma'am. With all that out the way. Anyway. We are here. We just gonna go ahead and get started. Peace, fam. Appreciate you, bro. We gonna go ahead and get this bad boy started for the night. It was something interesting too that happened. I don't know if you heard about it on the news, but I actually heard about it on the Breakfast Club. I was overhearing and listening to it. A woman apparently, I guess it's happened in California because it's Women's Month, so we got to say some of the good and the bad. A woman apparently I guess she had laid on a charade that she was kidnapped in California and that she got found. Anyway, she got found, and they found out a couple of years later that she lied the whole time. She actually was on an extended stay booty call because what ended up happening is that
Crazy.
her husband is the one who originally. This ain't funny, but her husband is the one who reported her missing because nobody went to pick up their kids from the daycare. So, of course, I guess they went on this search. I'm gonna find out. So don't get mad at me if I'm saying it wrong. I'm going by what I heard, and of course we'll fact check it. If it's wrong, then I'll let y'all know. But this I know is not wrong. She went to jail. She was going to jail for it. But what come to find out is that she was not kidnapped while jogging. She was actually laid up with her side guy or boyfriend at the time. And then I guess maybe she decided that it wasn't good and decided to come back. And now to the embarrassment, wow.
Years later, though. Years later.
I'm like, somebody had it. To me, that means somebody had it out for her. I'm like, hold on, this story never. Some cop was just kept scratching his head like, yeah, something ain't right here.
This ain't adding up.
It's just crazy. I think that's one of the crazy. I don't know if you heard that story, Fifi, but I heard. I was like, what? I'm gonna try to look it up while we talking today. But I was just like, it was a Karen.
I kind of heard a little bit of it, like you said on Breakfast Club. I didn't hear the whole thing, but
it was
just that alone was just too much. Like, why are you faking a kidnapping? That is not okay.
I was like, what the world, man? Like, people don't fake getting kidnapped.
Especially for what she did. Like, it wasn't like you was scared for your life or something. You was trying to go with witness protection. Like, you really just was trying to do your stuff on the side. And didn't pick your kids up from daycare?
And left the kids in daycare.
Crazy.
The husband all worried. You got this proud husband at home. He up there worried about her. She laid up with some guy. I'm like,
and that's the crazy part. It's like, okay, once I know you had to see it was a missing report out here, you should have been like, no, I'm not missing. Let's eliminate this real quick.
Wow. That just bothered me so much that I could not believe, like, dude, like, lady, you pretended to be with your side dude. You did all this. You left your kids in daycare.
Jeez. Let your husband report a kidnapping.
And then he all happy kissing on you like, I'm so happy that you're home. I'm so happy that you're home, baby. And found out she was with another guy.
Crazy.
I found that junk out. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't people slapping, hitting, or punching women, but I showed up when I kicked her down the stairs. I can't. I just cannot. Cause did you? Okay, y'all see Mr. Reach down there. Y'all already know what's up. Y'all, it's so
what's
good.
going on, everybody? Happy Women's Day. I know it was yesterday or the day before, but happy Women's Day to all the beautiful women out there. And
thank you.
We are glad to touch on these topics that's been addressed. I missed what was going on, but it sounds like it was very.
We ain't even started with the topics. We was just doing our little side combo.
Did you hear about the woman in California that faked her own kidnapping, and her husband had called and sent out everybody to go get her, and she happens to be with her boyfriend or side dude the whole time, and it was years later they found it out, and she went to jail for it. It was
like she didn't pick up her kids from daycare or anything. That's why she claimed a missing report.
She left it all behind. Happy Women's Day.
Horrible.
Boy, it'd have been all kind of foots up at her. Look, all kinds of bad for her, bro.
Man, I would have kicked her. I would have kicked her down the stairs. I don't care. I'd have took the night in jail for kicking her because I'd be like, you have whole, all like just husband crying and everything, like having a picture. You know, like when people have a picture of them and stuff like this, like this is her. Just bring her back home. Bring her
Oh
back
my
home.
God.
Bring her
That's
back home.
crazy.
And then to find out you with a dude the whole time, and the only reason you came back because it didn't work out, because he's like, no, you know what? You need to leave. You need to let them find you.
That's crazy.
Left your kids, man. Woo!
And boy,
that's crazy for me.
It been all kind of foots up in her. Yes, sir.
So before we even get started with the tops, let's start with each other, man. Hey, so how y'all feeling? I mean, how everything going with y'all? I mean, where y'all at? You know what I'm saying? Scale of 1, well, you know, let's be honest. Scale of 0 to 10. Wellness-wise.
Go ahead, you first, Fifi.
You want the real answer or you want the
we want
fake
real.
answer?
You already know we want real. I'm gonna tell y'all where I'm at.
I am at like a 6.
Ooh.
Between a 5 and a 6.
I was gonna say about the same thing. I think I'm about halfway in that bad boy.
It's been a long couple days, and it's just been one of the moments, like for real. I might leave the show a little early. I know how to come on a little late. It's just been an overwhelming couple days, and especially this afternoon. So, yeah. But like I said, you know, we'll get into it later about what's going on. But look, I'm happy to be here though.
Thanks.
With y'all for sure.
I'm in agreement. It's the same for me. It's been a rough while. I don't even know how long. It's just been a rough while, and it's just like, all right, let's get to the change. Let's get to the growth, the maturity, the betterment, the brighter days. Let's bring them ahead.
And the thing is too is like, you know, I didn't want to push it too low, because at the end of the day, I know, you know, God has His hand in it, and He always
absolutely
make things better. And it's like, you know what, we don't look at how things could have been, or like how it could be, or how somebody else's situation is way worse than ours, or like it's like, hey, you know, you might be to, you know, be upset about this, or this might not be going your way, but this person just, you know, is going through this, or they just lost this person. It's like,
yeah,
we definitely got to take that for granted. You know, we definitely got to consider things like that. So, you know, right now, like I said, honestly, yeah, 5 and 6, you know, 5 or 6, but at the end of the day, I know God has control of it all, and we just got to count our blessings. Straight up. So
absolutely, always. And that's why I said I'm at like a 6, because it's like, no, things are not the way I would like them to be in every area, but I'm alive, I'm breathing.
Yeah,
I ain't homeless out here. You know what I'm saying? Those are the blessings that I'm counting, which gives me a balance, you know, where it's not like a negative number, you know, but it's like, it's in progress. It's in process. It's going to be what God has ordained it to be. And it's all going to work out for the good. And that's what we got to remember. You know, you got some dark days or some hard times, but they're not going to last forever.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Especially like I said, you in the right spiritual mindset and right mindset, just in general, like God never fails you. So like I like, that's definitely always in my arsenal.
Yeah. And I think, to be honest, I think as a believer, what I believe is that God usually puts us through these type of times or moments, or allows them to happen in order for us to grow closer to Him. You know, it's like, people can't handle this. They can't fix this. I got to go straight to the source. Hey, God, what we doing? What's this? What's happening? Right. Yeah.
Right. And
it helps to increase that faith. We be, you know, we be on the borderline, or we be like real low. And He like, I need you to come on up a little bit more. I need you to come up higher. I need you to really trust in me. And I don't need you to be thinking about stuff that you can predict. I need you to know that I really got this, and it's only me that can do it.
Yeah, and it's funny that you say that. Like it definitely plays a part in like the well-being part, because if it wasn't for that, like I said, we could honestly, I could lie and say a 9, but then honestly it's 1. Like when you say, "Are we being honest?" I'm like, oh yeah, here we go. There we go.
I mean, to be honest, because it's easy. Real. See, that's the thing. It's easy to front. A lot of people are faking and they be fronting. If we answer the question honestly, People, they don't know how to respond to that. If you know how we always be like, oh, hey, how your day doing? How you doing? You good? How you feeling? If
Yeah.
we tell them the 100% truth, like, I feel like trash. Like, I am not happy. I am depressed. I am whatever.
Yep.
People don't know how to respond to that because they expect the generic, oh, I'm fine. I'm okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was.
How you feeling, Mr. Johnson? What's up with you?
Oh man, I feel like like somebody kicked me in this side of the neck and that side of the neck, and tried to do some damage, but I got back up, and you know.
What? Hey, you would say
Well,
hey.
You know, got up and ripped some behind. You know what I'm saying? It was tough. It was a tough week. I mean, it was a tough week because it's funny. You know, I was listening to y'all said as I was taking off apparel that I should not have on during my show. That it's funny how it seems that, like you said, I feel like my pressing is tied to my success is tied to also what weighs me down.
Yep.
And I feel like I can't be afraid of going forward out of the fear that I have to face what I'm most afraid of or what's the toughest for me. And
that is timely. Okay. Yeah.
I believe that's, you know, for me, I know every time, I feel like every time, you know, it's like, one, I'm grateful to God. Like when y'all both said, like, this is not about being not grateful to God. It's just that, you know, like, hey, it's being honest. One, and like we've all been saying, and I feel like everything that we've been saying and talking about always end up coming back around, and we got to eat that pie that we, you know what I'm saying, that we serve it. So it's just tough, you know, because it, especially when it involves what you love and care about the most. That's the one that really gets you. So I know for myself, that's why I could say 5. You know, I almost could say a little bit lower because it's 4. I'm just battling. I'm just battling with it.
Yeah.
I think what keeps me pumping is I understand more so when, you know, 20-year-old Randy is completely different from 40-year-old Randy.
Mm.
And that's that 40-year-old Randy has been through 20 years worth of things and experienced 20 years worth of growth and maturity. And I'm grateful for that. A lot of it come, you know, like my daughter is, you know, my daughter, my heart. And that, you know, situations with her will always, I see how it ping, 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 get me right there. Each time, ping, no matter what it is, I'm almost ready to go off the rail for anything that involves her. I'm like, I'm about to go off the rail, Randy. Like, then you have to, it's almost like you have to go and check yourself.
Yeah.
Oh, man, y'all getting me, I'm about to be therapeutic to myself tonight. But it was just like,
it might be one of them nights. I'm gonna hold you.
I got checked.
Yeah.
It's like, bam, bam, bam. That's like, because you go off the rail and you feel like, because I had got to that, you know, she was telling me something. We just get into this more different communication-based aspect of stuff in our, because a teenage girl is something I've never had to deal with, and I've never been. So with this new stuff that comes out, where me as a man, I'm like, what? This is what you should have did. And then I had to shut up because I'm like, Randy, you ain't never been a girl before. You've never been a girl before. You've never been a woman before. You have no idea how she's feeling. You have no idea what she's going through. So if she's telling you she's going through that, man, maybe you need to sit back, hear it, and believe it and help her deal with it. So we had a really good conversation, you know, tears flowing and everything else, you know, because I'm telling her, you know, I had to get to the point. I told her, like, man, the reason why I get so passionate about stuff when it comes to you, because you are the best thing that God has ever given me in my entire life. You're my number one gift. If someone told me right now that my heart was the only heart that could keep you alive, I would tear it out of my own chest, knowing that it'd keep you going. So we just got into like we had that moment, really probably the deepest father-daughter conversation I've ever had with my daughter. And I talk to my daughter all the time. I've prided on anybody that know me. We talk about everything. I'm been in my daughter's life. So I think fathers, let it be a lesson to any fathers out there when you're dealing with your children, you can get your feelings hurt.
Mm-hmm.
You can get your feelings completely hurt because it's time for men to just deal with your feelings. We got to go head on with our feelings. We got to stop being afraid of them. Men are afraid of their feelings, and I'm telling you because I done got so much afraid of them. Because when I got to face, it's two feelings men fear the most, right? And it's sadness. It's sadness and rejection. Them are two feelings they hate to face because when you face it, you're being totally stripped down, butt naked. So now you got to do it. So I got my feelings hurt. She had said some things, and I just like, you went into everything you think about. Men do this, and I know women think it, but I'm just telling you from a man's standpoint, my own. I'm telling you from Randy's standpoint. I felt that I had given my whole entire life to raising my daughter. And I said that no matter what happens, I am going to be here. I am there. You're never going to have to wonder where dad at. You're never going to have to chase me down for anything because I'm going to be there in your corner no matter what. So when I felt a little bit of like, dang, I know my dad did all this for me, but this person, it did a number on me. It felt me felt horrible. I was like, how in the world could you ever do that? I've been there for everything. I've been Mr. Consistent for you.
Mm-hmm.
And it made me, dude, I was like, I just thought, what I'm saying? I forgot, I'm driving in the passion of it. It almost like I forgot that she was there or anybody else was there in the car. I said, man, I've done everything for you. I could have been anywhere in this world. You know how many jobs I've said, no, I'm not going to. How many places I said, no, I'm not going to because my daughter is here. And damn.
Yeah. Listen, we all about to be crying tonight. Listen. For real.
Because I didn't do it because somebody told me to do it. I did it because that's what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
That's how much I love. This is my love. This every time I tell her, I tell her, I said, when I look at you, I see every bit of greatness in me, in flesh. When I look at you, that's what I see. I see the greatest parts of me in flesh when I look at you. So, yeah, my feelings is hurt because I'm there for you. Without, I don't want a Father of the Year award. I could care less about it. It's my duty to be a good father. It's my duty. But I sure enough don't want to feel like crap. I don't want to feel like everything I'm doing is for nothing. I don't want to feel like that. And I was just being completely honest. I'm like, man, out of anybody, I'm like, man, you could blind man, anybody could see. I ain't saying nothing there. I have been the consistent aspect of your life for the sole purpose that I said, I will not allow you to be raised in a certain way where you feel neglectful and that your father is never here. If anything, you'll get tired. You'll say, man, my dad is always here. That's it. Just never say nothing else. And I've like I told her, I said, I've broken my neck and I'll gladly do it again to make sure that you have the best life possible. And in all of that saying and got all this off my chest and everything else, like I said, we shed some tears and we just got to some real talk because you found out you really didn't understand what each other was saying. And that's how it happened all the time. You find out
miscommunications.
Didn't understand what they were saying. This wasn't going, and this what you're saying, and I think about. I tell her everything goes around in my head. I'm like, I think 3 years, and she think I be joking about this, but I'm like, 3 years. You got negative 3 years to where my legal responsibility for you is done, and you got to make some hard decisions in your life. So my fear is that what I'm pouring into you may not be enough for you to be able to take care of yourself.
Mm.
And you get, I know mothers do too, and everybody, but you get afraid for your kids because one day you ain't gonna be here no more.
Yeah.
You don't know what time that's gonna be. All I need to know is that I need you to be prepared. So, like I said, we had those conversations, and she let me know about some things I didn't, because I believe my daughter always trying to impress me with how much she could take because she's like me. She's like, oh, I can keep going through it. I can keep going through it. And then when she finally broke down, and I'm like, you know what? You're right. You don't need to try to pretend. I don't want you to pretend. I want you to be honest. If you're feeling a certain type of way, let's deal with it together. Hands together, facing right through the fire. That's how we're going to deal with it. Don't care how ugly it is, deal with it. Because you got so many things. You hope and pray all the time that you don't go through certain things, right?
Yeah.
You pray that you don't have to go through this. You pray that you don't have to go through that. And then guess what?
It
Cards
happens.
get dealt, and it happens.
It happens.
Exactly what happens.
Yep.
It happens. And you sitting there, you're thinking to yourself, you're trying to figure out, one, what you did, God, what you did wrong.
Yeah.
It ain't that you did something wrong. It's just, this is the card you got dealt. So when people tell me that life ain't fair, I'm like, I'll backtrack on that. I think life is fair because we all get any circumstance that dish down. We all can. We all feel the rain. We all feel the snow. We all feel the heat. We all feel the cold. So it's fair in that aspect. The part that we got to deal with is, how do we handle the situations when they get here?
Yeah, our response.
Do we self-destruct, or do we use that to be together even stronger? To say, I know this is our situation, but we about to battle this together.
Yep.
Like, whatever, we're gonna battle this together. And I had to do that. And we just, like I said, we had a big, huge embrace of each other. Because I know the stuff that you've been through, but I don't know how it made you feel. See, that's the problem. We may know the way we like, hey, like if somebody father or mother, somebody passed away in your life, right? You can say, I know how it feels to lose a mother, but I don't know how it feels to lose your mother.
Yeah.
I don't know your relationship. And I think that's the part what it is, because it's the hardest thing is when it's things you can't control. When you want to be able to go in there and say, I wish I could take you out of this situation. I wish I could go back in time, figure out where it happened, and right before it happened, cut it out. But that's not life. And whatever path that you got, it's a reason why you got to walk through it. So I'm talking a lot, and I'm going to get to what we were saying and everything.
No, you good. This is necessary. We unfiltered for a reason.
I know. I heard a young lady say, she told me today. She's, to say that on the, and it sounded a little bit like what Fresh, with the Fresh Print. Sounded like a little bit what Will Smith has said. That on the great, on the other side, of your greatest fear, on the other side of it is, saying your greatest success is your greatest victory. And we sometimes misthink things because all we do is look for right now. Mm-hmm. Like, if you want to be rich, you got to go through being broke. But in the process of being broke, you're being rich, because while you're being broke, you're saving money. You're putting it to the side. You're investing it. You're doing all those things for right now. Like you might have a guy that say, man, he get paid $4,000. He get all $4,000 on his check. Right? Cool. But then you got another guy like myself who got it put away for life. You got something coming out for life insurance. Got something coming out for 401k. Got something coming out for a Roth IRA. Got something coming out for insurance. Got something coming out for this. You're like, whoa, man, dang, you got a lot of stuff coming out because I got a long-term mentality that I have to hold from. I'm not thinking about right now. Right now, it'd be like, yeah, I could use this 4Gs and get this. Or I can invest this money that I got now and set myself, my family, and everybody I care about the most up for generations. And I think that's when sometimes our problems come in because we think that success will never have us face or trauma will never have us, like you want to get rid of trauma. But you also have to face the trauma. If
you got to relive it to let it go.
Yeah, if you want to face the fact that you got, like rape, you have to go back. You got to face it because you got to accept it and you got to deal with it.
Yeah.
And it's just that was a hard situation that, like I said, I had with everything today. And like I said, the best thing in this past week, I just had it where I just had to be real with my daughter. You had to have those conversations because as much as you want to be the parent, you can learn from the kid. And
absolutely,
that was something I learned this past week. So it was tough. Like I said, it was tough. I mean, it was really tough because, you get to that point where you don't know really what you're going to do because you're like, wow, God, I got
it's the experience that you have never experienced before.
Right.
And a lot of times we play things out in our head like if this would ever happen, I would be like this. But when it happened, you ain't like that and you don't even know what to do. You just like, I don't know.
Yeah, and like you basically just said it all. Like that little bit is like a mouthful because like I said, I'm currently going through that like right now. It's like, all right, I don't think that will happen to me or like this situation I want to go through. And once like you're faced with this, like, wow, like I'm really going through this, and it's like it almost seemed impossible to conquer. Like it's especially like dealing with the early. It's like I don't know if I can do this. I have no clue if I can do this, and that's the struggle of like being human. You know what I mean? Like we make the mistake of thinking things that can't happen to us or things that won't happen until it's actually right on our laps.
Right. You ain't never lied on that. What I've learned in life is never say never.
Yep.
Because you absolutely, I've learned that, and I'm gonna tell you where I actually learned that from. I learned that from Pastor John L. Anderson. One day he had a word. He's talking about how somebody broke into his house, and he went to go grab his gun. And when he got to the back door, because he was talking about how he was dealing with, like, man, I gotta say, I'll never cuss. I'll never do that. And he said he got to the back door to see the guy that he had the gun. He was like, wait one goddamn minute. I remember saying that in church. I remember just laughing so hard because he's just like, never say what you never gonna do because you don't know what you're gonna do.
That's right.
There's some hope that you would have what you're doing in the situation. And really, like you said, man, there's some things in life you get hit with, you absolutely don't know what you're gonna do.
Nope.
You don't know if you're gonna take it on the chin. You don't know if you're gonna sit back in the bed and cry. The only thing that you really hope that you do, and I believe that you do eventually, once you can get things in perspective, is that you walk it out.
Yep.
Walk it out. So, absolutely.
Yeah. So if to everybody that's listening, if you going through something, no, you ain't alone. We all going through something.
Absolutely.
That's a fact.
Absolutely. I want to start with something because it's probably gonna be a quick show. We got some really good 3 good topics. I want to address this one because this is something that's been in the media for a long time with women, more so than anything. Because I looked up some stats, and one of them said that I knew it was this much, but not this much, if y'all hear me.
Yeah.
87.6% of the cosmetic surgeries in the United States are done by women. Cosmetic industry is oh my goodness. Now it's got over to a $2.1 trillion industry.
Whoa.
That's cosmetic and beauty. That's how much big. But if you think about it, Rihanna, billionaire. It came from cosmetics.
Yeah.
Kylie Jenner, same thing.
Yeah.
Millionaire.
These are billionaires.
Straight off of that, yeah.
Off of cosmetics, off of these industry. L'Oreal, my goodness. Maybelline,
Mac,
my goodness.
Mm-hmm.
This is incredible. And now they had, if you've heard that they also with TikTok is under fire, Instagram is under fire for practices of creating people, this image of this imagery, especially towards young women.
Yeah.
So, man, and I'm just not saying the men, but we dealing with the women. This is incredible. 87.6% of cosmetic surgeries. This the reported ones. We ain't talking about the ones done when you go over to Brazil.
Look, under the table that don't nobody know about it. Yeah.
My goodness. What is the effect on women? The media on women's beauty and self-esteem. Evidently to me is huge.
Absolutely. It makes you feel like you're never enough. You're not good enough. You have to alter yourself in some kind of way to be acceptable.
Yeah, it has that, like, we have to go with society's standard of beauty. And it's like your face has to look like this, your breasts look like this, your butt has to look like this, your skin has to look like this, your hair has to look like this. And that person is beautiful. Like, we know, like, let's even look at this, right? We look at Miss America, Miss Alabama, Miss Michigan, Miss whoever, like, they all have a descriptive look to where, hey, this woman won because she looks like this, and this is our definition. This definition of beauty in America.
Wow.
And it's even interesting that you brought that up because, recently in the news we heard about one of the ladies who won the pageant, committing suicide.
That's right, yeah.
And she was beautiful, to everybody looking in, but it's issues within. And I want to add to what I said before. That's what happens. That's the effect of it. It causes internal issues, because I even think about Little Kim. She used to be beautiful. And you look at her now and she's still doing different things to herself.
She looked like that leprechaun from Leprechaun the Hood. For real.
Yeah, she looked totally unrecognizable.
She that dance too, like this, and fit out the camera. That's what she looked like.
It's just sad because, to be honest, like, women, not just with the media and cosmetics, but in general, even with relationships and with men, women don't feel like they're good enough because, it's like, okay, I'm with you, but you say this your type, the typing. I can't get with you if you not like this, that plays an effect.
Right.
Even with, working, you have to look a certain way to get the role or position. It's just in every aspect is what I'm trying to say.
No, you're exactly right.
Yeah, you're right. I agree with you 110%. It's just, it kind of blow your mind because I know Mac, he got 2 daughters. You know what I'm saying? I got a daughter, and I don't think going through that, but it's obvious that it's like that. I've seen where it's like, wow. I'm just when I look and just see, like, dang, because it started. Now it's in their face all the time, especially with social media. It's in their face all the time. These ladies, the pressure. When 85% of surgeries, over 80% of surgeries is done by women, to have some kind of corrective surgery, something that they are unhappy about.
Yep.
I mean, that's whew. I mean, that's a big to me. Like I said, in beauty and everything else, when everything's telling you got to do this, you got to be like this, you got to look like this to get this attention, and then when you got one eye candy, that eye candy is only limited because they want another eye candy. There you go, and then all of a sudden this person, and then the lack of attention, like you said, and the pressure and everything else like that. Like it's easy for a man to say, man, whatever, man, you ain't got to go with that, but you ain't got to be in these women's mindset. You ain't got to see it as much as women.
Yeah.
Have to go through it all the time. So, you know, you see, like you said, you see that girl, you know, people killing her. So like, you beautiful. I remember a singer, Phyllis Hyman, beautiful, gorgeous, killed herself because she was lonely, depressed.
Yeah.
Images talking about she could never find nobody. This is serious. I'm looking at I was looking at one thing when they was talking about some ways to help yourself with social media, you know, in regards to, I mean, look at some of the problems they said is coming to eating disorders, bulimia. It's coming from people because they're trying to keep up with this image.
Yeah.
To the point where they're so, man, ladies, man.
It becomes a deception, you know, where you have a fake reality of what beauty is. You think that, like we're saying, what they showing is what I have to be in order to be beautiful. Right. And not understanding you're already beautiful the way you are.
Wow. Interesting. It's crazy. It's crazy.
And I think we talked about it on the show, like just something as conducive as taking the taking the like button or the like button or show how many likes you got on a picture because it messes with people's subconscious or like
right.
Something like that, like that is just so like that. Like I just think that's crazy. And it's reality though.
And the messed up part is that they still kind of sort of still do because it'll just say millions or thousands. I'm like, I mean,
same thing.
Like, it's the same thing. You just ain't putting a direct number on there. But I like if it's that bad, can you imagine that someone put a picture on there? And your whole goal is for that picture to get liked, and then you seeing, man, this person, I got to change the way I look like this. And man, I can only imagine for a young woman the amount of pressure she got coming on her to look a certain way.
Or even like you got some people out there that flat out call you ugly, or they just say these crazy things, and it's like they got to deal with that. And it's like, how do you deal with that? It's like, damn, like I don't know.
Yeah. And a lot of it starts, to be honest, with, you know, the closest people around you, you know, that subconscious where, you know, we be, you know, acting silly with family or something and teasing each other. But a lot of times that rolls over, you know, when kids was, you know, you look younger in school when kids talking about you, you know, that really follows people when they grow up. And that's the kind of things that a lot of adults, just like Little Kim, I'm sure, have faced that they didn't deal with. That's why we keep talking. We're going to keep talking about it. You have to deal with these things because they don't go away. Just because you suppress it or you ignore it or you try to push it in the back of your mind or whatever, it's still going to be there. And it's going to show up in your life some kind of way. So we got to pay attention and really start focusing on those things. Finding the roots, like I always say. Find the root of it. Like when did it start?
We've been saying this for like a couple of weeks now. Get to the root of the matter.
Yep.
Get to the root of it. And like I said, it's just a couple of things that say here. Mac brought it up. You know, look at your circle and some of the things to help. Look at your circle. Look at the people that you're around. Surround yourself with people that celebrate you and don't tolerate you. Always be aware of the people around you, because if they're talking about other people when they ain't there, they're talking about you when you ain't there.
Yep.
There we go.
I got a question. What do you do if you feel like your circle, the people that you around, y'all all similar and they always, beef you up, but they're actually not a good influence on you? How do you speak to that? How do you even recognize that when you feel like, oh, everything good, I'm great, we all good, we out here, we doing this, we doing that, but you don't recognize that the people that you're around is not elevating you. You know, y'all not growing and going somewhere. Y'all just hanging out, doing the same stuff, but you're not positively growing.
You know, one thing I will say to that, Fifi, it's a couple things, and one thing I learned from I'll say two things. One, definitely therapy. I think once you talk things out and you see things for what they really are, it's like, damn, like, am I really like this? And then when you think about that, like, wow, is this person really like this? Like, why do I like this about this person? Why I'm, like being around this person and yada yada. Or you have to experience when that person actually betrays you or disappoints you. That's when you actually see, like, wow, like, you really like that? And then once you experience that disappointment or that bad experience that happened, you go back and you realize some of the things that you let go or you didn't think was a big deal. You actually understand, like, wow, this is why they did this. This is why this happened. Maybe this wasn't what this meant to be, or maybe this what this really was. And that stuff you get to see. So I just personally think it comes from experience.
I agree with that. I absolutely agree with that. I think it's just so much. I just think that it's just so much. It's really, you got to get to the point where, like you said, you got to have that accountability for yourself. But sometimes we really talking about these youngs. We talk about these young women, young men, and it really take time because when you're young, the last thing you're thinking about is trying to be out there on your own, trying to be that one person that's going to be thick and different from the crowd.
Yeah.
It's like, man, because you'll be isolated, and that'd be horrible. But I think that with like you said, I agree with you. I think early therapy, getting things out, talking about it, because it's time frames where I done seen stuff. I was with some people, and I'm like, man, that's some out cold junk that you just did, and I didn't say nothing. I looked and I just didn't do nothing. I didn't join in it, but I didn't do nothing to stop it either. So it's that tough one, man. That's one of those where that maturity got to kick in. You got, it's because I could just be honest, man. Like you said, I really wish a lot of stuff could have been more available to us when we were younger. That outlet to be like, man, let's talk, let's try to like talk about this. I think exposure to different cultures at a young age can absolutely help that. I think more exposure, the earlier exposure to things, and I ain't gonna say what groups have figured that out. They done it in a bad way.
Ring that bell, Randy, because that is that. Go. I'll let you finish. I'll let you finish.
So I think we just need to be exposed to things earlier that will help in regards to the differences that we have. We ain't talking about agendas. We talk about differences. We talk about like racism, shaming, things of that nature. Things that's real. We're not talking about everything because people think everybody's shaming them for every reason. It's like, no, I don't think you're being shamed on that one. I think that you like doing it and you don't want nobody telling you that is wrong. So, because when you got two kids, black, white, Hispanic, Arabic, and you put them on a playground, they just want to play.
Yeah.
Let's just play. Let's just go play them. And you leave them alone without parent interference, without every other stuff, you'll see. There we go. You got exposed to it. Because you think about that's why you can have a white that's been in the community. That's why you can have a really strong community of a whole bunch of different people because they all been raised together. They don't see color. They see that we all got the same circumstances. Your dad went to work. Your mom went to work. My mom went to work. We struggling over here. You struggling over there. And it's a greater appreciation. So that's what I believe. I think early access to seeing how everybody is in this isolation, instead of isolating us, like we just go be over here and y'all be over here. I think that's what did everybody messed up. Stop. That's why I ain't never was into that little group setting. Like when they say the lunch, we put it in movies all the time. And
the little cliques.
Yeah, we need to work on stop some of the things we put out. Like they'll say over here, like the mean girls are here, the plastic over here, the nerds over here, everybody over here. And I ain't never been that person like that. I always like being cool with everybody. Man, what's going on?
Yep.
We need to have an exposure of seeing how other people do things and exposure to it. The younger, the better.
I agree.
So especially for our ladies, because our ladies, I don't care where you at and who you are, what color you are. This is not just a one race thing. These many ladies, they feel ashamed of their bodies. They see guys always going to certain type of girls, not knowing that guys just go to anything. Ladies, if you out there, guys go to anything when they're young. They go to wherever they can get in, where they can fit in.
Yeah.
I'm telling y'all that as a man. That's what we did. So I just want to let y'all know that. There's no indication on the type of woman that you are, what you bring to the table, how beautiful you actually are, how intelligent you actually are. There's no indication of that. So don't ever think that because a guy doesn't want to have the patience for you, it's because he's not mature enough for the patience for you. He don't deserve your time because he'll waste it. So
thank you for saying that. You need to ding that because women need to hear that. Because women take it personal all the time.
They take it, man.
And that's where that self-consciousness and that insecurity develops,
So we got that, man. And I know what's this one? This one is interesting too. I know Fifi really be interested in this because she's talked about this a lot on our show. I was trying to pull up the stats. Forgive me, I didn't get the stats to pull up in regards to it. But if you go to YouTube, you'll see it all the time. They call it the Great Migration of Women from God, where women are going to different alternative belief systems due to what they say is a disappointment in serving God.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of women are going over to quote unquote maybe some things where we would consider witchcraft or different types of other things and that nature. And I'll reserve judgment on everything, but it's obvious that it's happening. As it says right here, and I'm quoting for the Wall Street Journal. It says that normally Black women are more religious than Black men. Black men tend to be more religious than white men. So as a whole, Black women may be the most faithful and religious entity on the planet. And we've kind of said that, people, when they trying to do stuff, they model it after Black women because Black women always go what's in their best interest. Even when they vote, shop, or anything else, they go with whatever in their best interest. So when you look at this, I mean, what you think about this? The migration away from God or alternative belief. What's going on with that? Fifi, can you let's just speak on that? Have you noticed more and more women saying, it's something else they believe in or looking for other methods of worship and things of that nature?
Absolutely. Very often now, more often than before, because I think just like what we was talking about with, how the media is influence us, I think that's another part of the influence where it's the effect of it. Okay, if I'm supposed to be loved and God's supposed to be loved, but I don't feel loved by men or society or anybody, then God must not be it. Because if I was supposed to feel all these things, he ain't showing up. He ain't coming through. He ain't showing me that it's real and that I can have access to it. So I need to go find something else that'll make me feel that love or feel in that void that I feel, or make me feel less lonely because now I have a community of people who got the same newfound spirituality that I got. I'll be seeing a lot of people gravitating to witchcraft because they're trying to predict the future or read ahead of what's coming. Okay, well, if I know, it's like control. If I have more understanding of what might possibly happen because I got access to this witchcraft stuff, then I'll feel more confident or I'll feel more secure because I can kind of see what's coming ahead and I can prepare. Or they do the spirituality thing where they're in tune with their chakra and they're cleansing their spirit in the houses of spirits with all the sage and the jewels, and I'm going to get these type of jewels and rubies and diamonds and things to make me feel like I'm going to attract the law of attraction. I'm going to attract more positivity. I'm going to attract more love, all these things that they're missing. I see that so much. And it's scary because it's a lot more, like the statistics said, it's a lot more women that are doing that, which is interesting if you think about just how like the influence is being pushed towards women on purpose.
Absolutely.
Because if it's not pushed on women, then it's not easily to influence the people that's under the women. So the women, we are the ones that's birthing and having children. If we are influenced a certain way, we're giving birth to that, to the children and the next generation. Even with the men that we with, we're influencing them because of whatever we feel or believe. So it's just, we're tied to everything. And if we're influenced so much negatively, some people may not agree that it's a negative influence, but I think so, because I feel like it's making women more lost than before. They don't have a sense of identity or purpose. They're just doing things, being busy. But it's like, okay, what are you really gaining? What are you really receiving? Because at the end of the day, if it was actually fulfilling, then you wouldn't have to keep searching for it or searching for the next best thing or something new or higher. You will be fulfilled.
I was going to ask you that too. I was going to just because, especially with you, absolutely woman. Look at this. This is a news article on CNBC, and it says, we're reclaiming these traditions. Black women are embracing the spiritual realm. And it goes into a lot of the new tarot card reading. And
New Age.
And it specifically quoting the article, just reading it, just sitting here reading what y'all is interesting. It says, these are revel fascinations with witchcraft and the occult. For Black women, mysticism appeal is about empowerment and taking up space in a world that often marginalizes them. That's a little. I don't know if I agree with that.
I can see how it makes sense. I can see how it makes sense, though. Not to even necessarily say I agree, but I see how.
Oh no, I get what you're saying. Elaborate, my brother.
And that's the thing. Like, it's kind of hard to elaborate because it's kind of hard to explain, even though we see it.
Yeah.
So I just want to get that off. Like, I can definitely see it. I just can't understand it. If
it's like one of those things, like you said, it's like I could see why y'all would want to try it.
Right.
And the big ones when that step out to me as I read it, because as I read that back to you, the one that says the appeal is because in doing it, they feel empowered, a little more in control.
Yeah.
And to me, it sounds like more of a healing mechanism. It's like, hey, this world where we feel an outcast, where we've tried to do it this way and try to do it that way, this kind of makes me feel more empowered. It makes me feel more safe. Make me feel like I'm actually getting a healing and things of that nature. It's just like, what's the name of that movie? Higher Learning. And I think people missed a lot of good parts of that movie because a lot of lessons. But one of them I noticed was for the white boy Remy. White boy who came from Idaho, all out of his element for the first time here around, all different. Again, we'll go back to what you were saying before, man, about never being exposed to nobody else, but the same people you look at every day. He gets to college and he gets exposed to everything. These different races, everything. And he's so confused, he don't know what to do. What happens? Somebody finds him and takes advantage of him. Advantage of the fact that he's weak at the time. He don't feel like he got nothing. Because what happened? His first experiences with people that was different color of him was a bad experience. Ice Cube wasn't crap. Ice Cube wasn't in that movie to him when he first started out. He playing his music. I'm like, hey, brother. He's like, man, can you just turn your music down, man? We trying to go to sleep or stuff like that. It was horrible. He had horrible experiences.
The
So
worst.
while he out there, he like, man, dang, what's going on? I don't know what it is. I thought we could be fine and cool and all this other stuff. What he get a hold of? A hate group. Who said, man, we'll take you in.
Yeah.
We'll take you in, huh? We'll see you.
We'll show you the love that you're looking for.
All the time. It's just the same. But you know what? And Phoebe, like you, I know you probably already gonna say, it's the same thing like in the inner cities. That's how you get guys and gangs.
Yeah.
Because you get around a group of guys, you ain't been shown love your whole time, nothing else in no other house. Now you get around a gang, they tell you they love you, you got to do this, you got to be down to me, jump you in, this is what you got to do, man. This is what you got to do. It's the same thing all the time. So I can understand this. I'm not saying it's right, but I can understand someone wanting to have a sense of belonging. And I think that's what a lot of things come up to. People want to find somewhere they belong. They want to have a safe space. When you've been saying, oh, man, God, I've been looking for guys, and you every guy you get has been bad. And now you're like, I'm going this, and I think I found myself. Now, my answer to that would be this for people. No situation is 100% one way.
Yep.
So sometimes we blame the wrong thing all the time. And I'm saying that for myself. We blame the wrong thing. We sometimes we forget that God is there's so much love is that he's like, you know what? I'm gonna give you a little thing that I don't give no other species on the face of this planet. I'm gonna give y'all free will.
Mm-hmm.
That means you got a right to choose. You get to choose, and you can choose to go this way. You can choose to go that way, because at the end of the day, it is your choice. If you love me, you're gonna do it. Now, honestly, did you really consult me in this guy, or did you just see things that you thought were good, so you took a hold of it? Like, okay, there you go, and that your want and your need and your craving to be with someone overrule your good judgment.
Yeah,
because that's what normally happens, men and women. We do it all the time. I can speak on all the time. You like, oh man, this woman good. Man, she a fighter. She do this and everything else. But then God like, just slow down. You got a choice, but slow down.
Yeah.
Things. And I think what happened is that when people get hurt, they never in their right mind. There's a lot of frames when people are in their right mind.
Yeah.
Extreme anger, you ain't in your right mind. Extremely painful, heartbreaking hurt, you ain't in your right mind.
Yeah.
Depressing, hard sadness, you're not in your right mind.
Nope.
And we have to understand, this is why, like y'all both have said on so many occasions, you got to slow down, and you really have to be honest with yourself. You got to slow down and be honest with yourself, because you can keep going you can jump from every belief system you want to. But if the only thing that changes is just you changing belief system, it's not. Guess what? You done found out that you're the issue. I could be a mother. I could go and say I'll do a lie. I could be everything. I could go be a Buddhist. But if I haven't changed, if my behaviors haven't changed, if my decision making haven't changed, it's going to be the same thing. So I think that a lot of this for our sisters, they're just looking for something different, because you're hurt, man. When you're lonely, you're hurt. And when you feel like you've been misused all the time, you're hurt. But a part of that hurt is that you got to take responsibility for your decisions. We ain't saying it's all your fault, but share the blame, because nothing ever 100%. That's what I would say for me.
You have to look into yourself and see what are the bad habits or negative patterns or learned behaviors that you have taken on, that you've inflicted, that you thought was good or you thought was cool or wasn't that bad, but it's hurt some people, it's fit some people, it's done some damage. You gotta check that. Just cause, and even still, it's like some groups of people that's acceptable, but in others it's not. Right. So it's just learning social environments. Environment is number one. Right. Your environment makes or breaks you. You have to understand what you're surrounded by and how it's influencing you. That's number one. Once you recognize that, then you got to deal with it. Okay, if this is not helping me to get anywhere, if I feel like I just, like you said, I keep jumping from belief to belief, okay, I need to do a reflection of, okay, well, what's actually something that's helping me from these different things? Well, did I even acknowledge that I really need some help?
That's a fact. That's one.
Right.
Yep.
And then if I do need help, am I actually ready to go get the help?
Right.
Because that's the thing too. A lot of people can acknowledge I'm sick, I'm in trouble, I'm in need, but if they're not ready, like you said, Randy and Mac, if they're not ready to deal with it, if they're not ready to go get the help, if they're not ready to do the work, they just gonna stay in that place until they're ready. If they ever get ready.
Man, you hit it right on the nose for me. We good to go. You hit it on the nose for me. That is really awesome. I just, and I think with this last one, I want to jump to this last one because we made good time, and I know we had a lot of stuff we had to proud to some things, but this one, if I had to be honest, I want to hear this even more than ever because I like this one, especially when Mac had it on there. Black women have been groomed since childhood, especially back in the day, but even more now, to expect. Dang. To expect to go through, to expect adversity.
Mm-hmm.
Like right off the bat, expect to be looked at as a hoe in a hood rat or a bitch or all the negative indications when it comes to black women. Like expect this right from jump. But they're also expected to be strong and all of that to do it and smile and get through it.
Yeah. Don't complain.
And we talked about this a little bit last week, but not much in this detail. When are we going to tell our women it's okay? When we gonna say to them, I understand why you're angry. Now,
And
man.
and let me jump in this for a second.
You
a couple things I wanted to add to that, right? So
let me put my thing on mute. Goodness.
All right. So upon asking this question, it's some responses that I got back. And I even got one from a guy. From a guy, he said it's something so attractive and inspiring about strong black women who isn't afraid to speak and stand up in their truth, right? And I was like, even for I will say, for me, I'll say safely for Randy, we're used to and we love women who are strong because that's what we're used to it. We see it, we're around it, so it's like we're used to it, right? Then I got a couple more. I got comment from a few other women, right? And one says, I'm sorry, but I don't want to be the strong black woman anymore. The next one, I don't plan on spending the rest of my life operating as a high-functioning, depressing, anxiety black woman. I am going to find my peace and stay there.
Wow.
Another comment which I got.
Wow.
Another comment which I got, which is this is the stinger for me. It says, I don't know where this strong black woman stuff come from, but I am not one of them. I am soft and I need to be taken care of. And for a moment, I was like, is this an indication of you want to be weak or are you just tired? But the thing is that, which we all say, but we never hold it to black women until we actually have to sit down and think about it, is that we do hold them to a different standard than we do any other woman. no matter what race you are, we definitely hold Black women to that standard. It's like, okay, no matter what happens to you, you have to endure whatever pain. Like if you take a Black woman and every other woman in the world, every other race, if they go through a tough time versus them, we have very less sympathy for the Black woman because we expect them to go through and thrive through things that other women don't necessarily have to, because they're programmed to say, hey, you got to take it. Just as we thought, as we have sons or, raise young men, that, hey, you got to take it, you got to go through it because it's just going to happen. Like, yeah, you may, like Felicia, you may be more emotional than I, but at the same time, you can't be more emotional than anybody else. You just can't be, because we weren't raised to program that way, because it's a sense of weakness, it's a sense of vulnerability. And just what I got from these other women is like, why I can't be vulnerable, why I can't be like remissive of how I feel when I feel this way. Like, why can't I be why can't I be weak for a moment? Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to use that word like weak, but why can't I just be weak for a
Yeah.
moment?
I mean, that's to me, that's the exact word, because I feel like weak got a negative connotation because of the way people started wording weakness.
Yeah.
Weakness is not nothing that's less than or bad. Weakness just means is vulnerable, is something that's not all the way together, that needs more attention or needs more grooming or whatever you want to call it, development. It doesn't have to do with just being lacking because you're weak. And I think that's what we associate being weak as, is lacking. And to be honest, in agreement with what these ladies have said, as a strong person, I need somebody to be there for me when I feel weak, and not feel like I'm less than because I am weak. When I go through stuff, that's hard. That's real hard. And it's like, when you got to hold it all in, that's why women be cuss people out. They be snapping and they just be closed off because they feel like they're not safe. They're not secure. They don't have that security to be able to open up and be honest about what's really going on or what's happening. That's why women are committing suicide or being depressed. Like Randy said before, being a functional depressant. Like, you're depressed, but you're functioning. We got to put on that mask every day. That's why most women wear the makeup and stuff, to try to make themselves and dress certain ways, to try to take the attention off their emotions and feelings and put it on. Just look at what I look like on the outside. As long as I show up, I'm good. That I'm cool. But we're really not. And we can't tell you that because you don't hear it. You just feel like you said, you got to be stronger than that. Or stop complaining. Stop making excuses. Stop whining. That's the language that comes with that for Black women. Other women, it's like, oh no, that is so sad and unfortunate. We need to help her. We need to console her. We need to make care packages. We need to go out and, raise money and GoFundMe's to help them. But Black women, it's just like, oh, they'll be all right. They'll get through it. They'll be okay. Just give it time.
That's a fact.
You know what make it so? I was sitting here listening to you, to both of y'all, and trying to kind of get a grips on it, because I'm probably gonna say a statement that somebody gonna think is pandering, but it's not pandering. It's the truth. Black men, we have failed our women in a lot of aspects, man. And what I mean by that is that we failed in one big way. And that's the emotional and mental support of our women. Financially, most good men do the financial part.
Mm-hmm.
And they think because they do the financial part that she should just be quiet and not say another word. And because she has a greater quality about herself and understands that, you didn't purchase her, but you're supposed to provide for her. And it's a difference, fellas. Some of y'all want to go off and get you somebody else that's going to know their role to shut up and all this other good stuff. And that's a dumb role to know, because you should be looking for a co-star when it comes to this movie of life. And Karen White had a song about this. I just started thinking about it as soon as they started saying it. But I'm thinking about the the chorus of the song. And it's some deep, now that I think about it. She said, "I'm not your superwoman. I'm not the kind of girl that you can let down." Woo! I just read these lyrics for the first time. I done heard it about, like, I don't know how many times in my whole life, but look what she said. She said, "I'm not a superwoman. I'm not the kind of girl that you can let down and think that everything's okay. Boy, I am only human. This girl needs more than the occasional hugs as a token of love from you to me." My goodness. People need to look at the song a lot different, because that chorus by itself say something. I heard the song all the time. I ain't get like, early in the morning. This is something really much deeper, because that chorus said a lot. It's a difference when you read the words of some things.
What's that song called again?
It's called Superwoman, Karen White.
Okay.
And I'm just reading this, and I'm like, man, I did not realize she said that. Because you just be singing it like, you know what I'm saying? She said, "I'm not the kind of girl you can let down and think that everything's okay." Guess what? Men for so long, because I hear men all talk about this all the time, man. And I'm saying this on real, because when we talk about good men and women, y'all got to understand, we're talking about good men and women. We're not talking about those who are going out there being purposely bad, purposely horrible. Guess what? If it don't apply, let it fly. And if you do feel like it applied to you, you told on yourself. Now, this is saying that I'm not the woman. Don't think because you didn't broke my heart and you destroyed me that everything is okay. Constantly letting me down, constantly do that. And guys be thinking so many things like, man, look, I'm here with you. I did this. Dang, what else you need me to do? Well, hell, everything she do for your sorry ass. What do you think? When you getting fired because you couldn't keep a job because you chose that the weed was more important than working, and you fell a piss test, and she keep talking, she keeps saying, "I know he got potential." Guys need to stop. A lot of you bad guys make a lot of stupid excuses for talking about women. I need women to support me. Black women have been supporting black men for years. Get the hell out of here. Stop it. We need to stop with this excuse. Good black women have been supporting black men for years, man. You want to talk about this theory of the angry black woman? Yeah, are there vengeful women out here? Absolutely, but they come in all colors, baby. Last time I thought about somebody vengeful is somebody that says a guy winked at me and they go drag him out of his house in the middle of the night, beat him beyond recognition and throw him in the river, and then they get tried for the crime, and everybody that know they did it still say they're not guilty, and then on their deathbed, she says that he was innocent, and then she just dies. I think that's vindictive.
Oh, we ain't gonna talk. Hey, literally got away with murder.
Yep, that's vindictive.
They confessed it on their deathbed, and
we ain't talking about black. We talk about y'all think about. You want to know why black women are angry? Can we really get into it? You want to know why black women are angry? Because they tired of being there for the black man through all his rough and BS, and then once he does make it, and once he gets over the hump.
Yeah.
You feel like you got to have another different type of status symbol on your side. That's why they angry. Because they saw the potential in you and they there with you. But when you get up, when you make it over that little hump, you decide you need something else. You don't want to give her that benefit of the doubt. Let's not even forget the fact that of the million, of the hundreds and hundreds of years they had to watch their boys and men that they love being beaten and tortured and everything else, and with all that care and trying to protect over them, guess what? They had to experience a little thing called rape and getting beat and humiliated and spit upon and treated like whores all this time frame where all this stuff is going on. Hell, I would be angry.
I would be.
Well, I mean, like what are they talking about? Like a black angry woman. Like, get out of here. Don't confuse a woman with standards who wants you to be better and treat her better as an angry woman. That's not an angry woman, fellas. That's not an angry woman. She's saying, as much as I'm putting out for you, I just want you to put out for me.
Yep.
As much as I believe in you, I want you to believe in me. So if I'm supporting you through your dream, support me through my dream. And guess what? If my dream gets accomplished, I'm never going to make you feel like less of a man. See, that's the failure with some of you guys, because y'all realize that a lot of the women you with deserve better.
You think like, damn, maybe she is right. I might not be good enough for
right? They think they deserve better. These women out here been doing for years, man. Telling these, like these guys, and I seen them like, man, you got a good one, and you keep chasing the bad ones. Guys, you keep chasing these hoes. You chasing hoes because you think you got more control, because them hoes is controlled by money. But these good women out here ain't controlled by that, because they can do that. Women been doing it like this for years. They've been doing everything else. They done picked up the slack while still keeping men in a position. You have women out here that make millions, but the man they married to, they still hold him in the standard that he the king. He the head in their house, and they respect it. They ain't showing no disrespect to him. He honoring her. It's a whole thing. The problem is that men are threatened by women who don't need them. Now, the guy's gonna say, well, if she don't need him, then why she want a man? No. She don't need the man. She wants a man.
Facts. Say that. It's a difference.
It's a difference. She wants a man. If you are not going to be a man of your word, if you can't stand up and do anything, this is not saying that you're not having a job. Let me tell you something. Shout out to my men out there that go to a job after job, filling out applications, going there every day to do it. Every day you're going to do it. She ain't talking about you. She ain't going to degrade you because she see everything you're doing every day. She's like, I know what he's doing every day. He like, if I got to push a broom, I got to go over here and sweep. I got to do this to make sure my family taken care of. I'm going to do that. The problem is, women not going to respect a man who she can't trust to do what he's supposed to do. Why would she trust him? Fellas, why would she trust him? And then get mad because over and over again, all she asks the guy to do is one thing: keep it 100 with him. Keep me 100. Just let me know. Keep me in the loop. Treat me right. Dude, don't have me look stupid out in these streets. Men do this a lot when it comes to women. They'll have women looking stupid out here in these streets. You're thinking that you got yourself a good man. He ain't cheating, he ain't doing nothing. But everybody know what's going on, and you always the last one to know. And I know some guys right now thinking like, oh, Randy, you tripping, dog. You pandering to these women. No, we just telling the truth. Do women do it to men? Yes. Okay, fellas, you feel better? Yes. Yeah. But the point of the matter is, guys been doing this for a long time. Women been faithful. Now they just get to a part where they tired. They tired of look. Like, I've been here being with you. When guys talk, man, we just want a woman to be with us and everything else. She a gold digger and everything else. But you but you don't mind a gold digger of another race. Bro, that don't make sense to me.
Uh-oh.
Y'all getting mad about that. You ain't mad at the fact that the woman that you got from another race wouldn't even be with you if you didn't have the money that you had. Uh-oh. But this woman that been with you for a minute that look like you want to trip? Because she want a little thing talking about, hey, can you actually take care of the family and everything else like that? Oh, man, she just go. Man, she want me to do this.
That was crazy what you just said, though.
That
was crazy, wasn't it, Fifi?
It was, because to be honest, it's the impatience. That's the key. That's Absolutely. The root.
Don't break.
She got patience for me. She'll put up with what I'm going through and deal with me. But then when it's time for me to have patience for her, I'm real short on it, and I'm not open enough to let it develop and grow, and me have patience to see her bloom and blossom and get to where she's trying to go.
That's the problem. The women have patience with men. World women have patience for men to see her man grow when she love him, and she see that he got vision. See, that's the thing that a lot of guys don't understand. If you want your woman to really follow you, you got to show her you worth following. You got to show that your word is worth something. First of all, you got to show that you got some type of integrity. You got to show that when you don't do something, you do it. Mm-hmm. Women respect someone that say, when she say, I need you to do this. And men talk because women do it all the time. And you might even get a little attitude with it. Like, Randy, I need you to go. Look, we need to get this washer and dryer. All right, babe, I'm going to get the washer and dryer. And then what happened? I pull up to the car. What I got behind me? The delivery truck. I got the washer and dryer. But she happy. She know, like, I know I can trust him because he going to do what he said he going to do. If he don't know how to do it, guess what? He getting somebody to know how to do it. Yeah. He's not making no excuses. He do what needs to be done, and he always got us set up right. When a woman don't trust you to do that, you will never have her respect. And why should she? This ain't like you trying to say like you did it and you forgot, but she got so used to God talking about, yeah, I'm gonna get around to it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do this. Want to do stuff when you feel like doing it. Because women do everything we want them to do when they don't feel like doing it. And that's
all the time.
I'm just gonna be on the real with it. Okay?
Don't women be real. Hey, keep that on the low. Hey. You talking a little bit too much right now.
He's so crazy, man. And don't even go by Mac, because that man knows that because he got a good woman. Women go through it. Guess what? Not only she, like he said not too long ago, his wife and him both work, but she still come home and be a wife. Man, are y'all hearing this part? She's still going to do a wife, tired and all. I'm making sure the girls is good. I'm making sure this is good. I'm making sure dinner is good. I'm making sure all this stuff is good and everything else like that. I'm making sure that the stuff is good. And in return, what does he do? He breaks his back for her. But she trusts him. She trusts him to be a man.
Yeah.
Does it happen overnight? Hell no. Mm-hmm. It's called a trust. And the problem, just like Fifi said, is that because no one wants to be patient enough for the other person. You want people to be ready-made the way you want them to be when you get with them. Guess what? You got to be like this now. Get out of here. I've heard people have the audacity. I need to have a man that's already set up. Like you all together?
Right.
Oh, this girl got to have this right here, right now. Like you got it all together. Like people got to be less, got to be realistic. And stop having this, like you said, Fifi, this lack of patience. Fellas, if you want this woman to be good, you need to support her as much as she supports you.
That's a fact.
I think the other issue is, I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, because every man ain't the same and I don't think the same, but I think too, when women are asking you like to elevate and come up, or they see an area that needs development and we speak on it, we ain't negating all the other stuff that you did. We ain't saying you trash and you just don't never do nothing. It's just this one area we like, hey, we need to put some attention over here. Let's shed the light over here. But I feel like men be like, oh, she don't appreciate me. I did all this stuff for her. And then every time she got to talk about this one thing. I don't know where that comes from or why it feels like an attack. But I feel like for women, we're like, no, we appreciate everything you do. It's just you're fully developed in these areas, or you've done enough in these areas where they're sustainable, they're cultivated. Now these are areas that's been lacking and ain't been touched, and now we need to put some attention over here. But I feel like men be like, no, you just not listening, or you don't care no more, or all those. I don't know. I've been hearing that a lot in conversations with women about
stop it.
Their relationships. They like, what's happening?
No, you telling too much of these. Continue, but you telling too much of these secrets. You talking a little bit too much, but
whatever. I'm just saying.
I just see Mac face his whole time like, oh God.
I'm just saying, like, that's the things that I've been hearing about, and I'm like, okay, it ain't just like an isolated incident where it's just, oh, this is just what's going on in this relationship right here, or my relationship. Nah, that's a universal thing. And for represent for the women, I want it to be made known. No, all women don't think the same, but a vast majority of us is like, no, we're not degrading you or dismissing what you've done or what you do. We just need to make sure that you're balanced. Okay, you good over here. Now let's get something going over here. So
You know
then
what
we
I
good
think the
all the
meaning
way
of that
across.
is?
That's all.
I could tell you one thing, what you say about that, because it go into so many different ways, especially with man, even the most secure man.
Mm.
It's about how you say it. It's about how it's done. And that comes with knowing the person that you're with.
Yeah.
Knowing their ego, knowing how you got to present it. Because men are fixers by nature, right?
Mm-hmm.
No man want to be reminded that maybe something he tried to fix need to be looked at again. Nobody want to do that. So you got to be able to say it in a way. This is why it's communication. You got to be able to say it. You got to say it in love. Just like, and then the other part of that too is that you better make sure that if you're willing to give out criticism,
you gotta be willing to take
it. Because
the
other part is that if he say something and you are very defensive about it too,
never tell you nothing else.
Yeah, never take it. Like you said, it's like on both. Like Mac just said, it's on both sides. You're like, man, forget, I ain't never doing that again. Forget, you ain't paying attention to me. But if you say it in a way that you know, because y'all got to remember, y'all each other's lovers, not mother and father.
Say that, yeah.
That's the biggest thing. We always try to act like we mother and father, and no, we're not. I ain't your mother, you ain't your father. I'm somebody. We're supposed to be your best friend and your mate, and what we doing is looking at the best for you. And that's where we should be, because you becoming one, know the person's ego, because everybody know that one spot that somebody with. And normally when he get like that, it's because it's the ego spot of him. Like you might say, baby, I want you, maybe we need to work on a little bit of this money management. You're like, oh, what you trying to say? I don't know how to handle money. I make this money. And then see, it becomes a personal attack.
Yeah.
That he feels is personal. Or you go to a woman like, girl, you need to know how to stop spending money. Oh, so you just saying, oh, now it's your money. And all y'all both saying is that we need to sit down and figure out how we can manage our money together so that it can grow and we can make it work for us. You see how different the conversation, like that conversation was? And I think that's what happens to most of us. But men are easily bruised when they feel like you coming after them.
We absolutely are. And that's why I was going to try to not cut Fifi off, but like I remember having like that same conversation, and especially when you feel like, hey, I'm just being acclimated to this, and you think that you're doing enough. In the back of my mind, I know I can do better because I want to do better. But when you start with, hey, you need to do this, it's starting off like, hey, you need to fix this, versus like, you're doing this, but you ain't doing this. That's on the delivery.
I had to cover my face up. Oh my goodness.
I'm telling you.
Blur out my face on that one. Look at my face. You see, that's why it's blurred. Oh my.
I can't. Okay.
Woo!
But see, this is why communication is so important, because if men had these conversations with women, just like we just said, if you would communicate that to your woman and women vice versa, it'll just be so different. But I know it ain't that easy. People just be like, no, I can't just say that.
Hey,
but why not?
Lying. It is not easy at all. But and I'll tell you, and not to even put my business out there, but like I remember having a conversation like, so one, I got to my therapist. One thing that my therapist told me, like, I don't like having an altercation with Chris. I don't. Like, I'd rather be wrong or not say nothing sometimes. And she said that you have a lot of conversations with yourself instead of saying what you want to say. Now, when it comes down to it, like if something I really want to say, depending on the situation. But it was something I said to her, and I figured it was going to cause an argument. But I'm like, you know what? Whatever. I said how I felt, and she got upset. Then I told her how I felt. Like, listen, this is why I keep a lot of things to myself, because I know you'd be upset. And then she's like, wow, like, okay, I see where you're coming from. And then she told me some things that made her upset. I'm like, oh, I never thought of it that way.
And look how that communication opened up and it just changed.
Mm-hmm.
That was just like, it probably didn't take 5 seconds, but I'm just saying, like, just those kind of conversations is so necessary.
I'm glad you pointed that out, Fifi, because that's some deep jump. Because all I heard what they said is that it was going tap, 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 and then finally, all right, let's take the gloves down. Let's see what's up.
Yeah.
Let's go. Full blanket. We naked. Go ahead, tell me what it is. And that's that part people be afraid of, man. They'd be afraid of that. But I would be more afraid of never getting to the root. We always stay on the surface. We never found out what was hit. That's like having a lump on you. You're never going to get it checked. All it needed to do was have maybe the antibiotics and us, but you allowed it because of your fear of what could be told to you what it is. You let that outweigh just going in there and letting them go ahead and find out what it is and getting it done. So, man, it's just, yeah, man. Woof, man. I'm still trying to get over what he just said. I'm just like, man, because it do. You'll be like, man, girl, what you just like? Don't tell me. No, this is the problem. Like you said, it's the way people say it.
Yeah.
Every man and woman got trigger words. I can't even lie. When he said that, all I thought was about a past relationship or something like that. When a girl said like, you need to like, I'm what?
So you just telling me what to do now, huh?
Because the whole demeanor, because when you start off with attack words, oh my goodness.
It's a defensive conversation. It's a defensive conversation already.
I got to cover my face up again. I got to get that mug blurred again. Oh my goodness. Oh,
crazy, bro.
I don't like because I'm a big communicator. So when somebody comes to me with some attack words, it's like my automatic go into defense mode. It's like, like transform. What did you just say?
Yeah.
Everything else go out the window because we say the wrong words in the wrong way. Somebody told me a long time ago that the road to ruin is paved with good intentions, which means you had the best intentions to say it to somebody, but you did it the entirely wrong way.
Yeah.
Because I know I do. Because as soon as a woman said it to me, everything Max said is absolutely true. As soon as you say it to me, I'm attacking you. It's a wrap after that. I need to change this. What about this you need to change? Yeah. How many times have I told you about the same thing that you, and I become like destructive because I'm like, oh, you trying to block me up? Talking about like I ain't a good enough man. You ain't good enough woman with this. You burn eggs all the time. You burn eggs. I don't want to eat your eggs.
I'm down with you right now. Oh my God.
That's what it happens, man. But
it's like, and how we operate, and I ain't gonna hold you. How we operate is like the only way you see where I'm coming from is I got to show you who you are, and we hurting each other,
right?
And we're not fixing the problem.
Yeah,
like it. This is definitely a good topic, but like that's how I definitely like look at that. Like as soon as I get critiqued, I feel like I'm automatically attacked. Especially depending on like what situation. Like in our situation, she has a great father, like great dad, and I don't have one. So my next comparison is him, and I have to subconsciously be better than him. And if something I can't do better than him, it's like, all right, you compare me, and I'm not better. I'm automatically offended.
Yeah.
So it's even stuff like that just takes a toll for real.
Yeah, that is that's right on, man. That's just some real talk. That's some real talk we had tonight. That is just 100% awesome. The whole night been awesome. I feel better. I went up. I think I went up.
Yeah, I went up a point or two.
Yeah, I feel like I went up to a 7.
Yeah,
I feel like
I'm at a 6 now. I'm at a 6. Going
So
to the 7.
I'm just there. So, but man, appreciate y'all tonight. This really some really good time. Miss Kathy, love you. I love Miss Kathy and this bad boy.
Me too. Makes me happy.
It's like you said, it's just and Fifi, my goodness, man. Fifi again, man. I don't know what's going on. Fifi been hitting
She
like
been tripping lately. She been talking
lately, ain't she been hitting and kicking and all this other stuff. You can't. And I'm just sitting there, I'm looking like somebody that's on a Real Hollywood video with just blot out back, like you know, like when they ask you questions and you just sit there like, why'd you do it, Randy? Like, I don't know. I have no idea. But no, man, it was a great show tonight. Man, we are going to try our best. I want to give our potential guest host another opportunity. We're going to try next week to get her on. We're going to see if we can help her through her bootleg phone and to work. Get her laptop. We're going to get her set up because we got to stop buying phones from Save-A-Lot. It don't work.
I'm done.
But it don't work. You got to stop buying them from Save-A-Lot. But we appreciate all of y'all tuning in tonight. As always, man, thank y'all so much. Go ahead. Share. Get it out of there. YouTube, subscribe. Like we said, we're still in that progress to get this anchor up so we can get this going. So the podcast, so that way you can just, as much fun as y'all got seeing us, but now you can just listen to us. Still working on all those good things. Get this taken care of. But we is in episode 16 this season. Enjoyed all these episodes this season, man.
Yeah.
I'm loving it, man.
Cool.
This has been one of the most realest seasons. It's been the most deepest. It's like every single week is getting dug deeper and deeper. And I'm loving it, man. This is awesome. I love this. This is what I love. This is what you crave out in these streets.
Yeah,
but,
this definitely helped with our situations today, I think. I definitely think it did.
So
yeah, I agree. Same for me.
Yeah, so all in all, as we start, because we know we're going to be battling against y'all. Good thing is that it's Wednesdays, so I ain't going to be battling with the March Madness for y'all because it started on Thursdays. So I'm good on that. We picked the perfect days because I know y'all, people be like, oh, man, we ain't battling no March Madness. I'm like, oh, we got you. But no, we grateful for everybody that we get. We don't care if it's a 0. We don't care if it's 50. As long as we know that we're getting the people, we appreciate y'all, and y'all keep coming, and y'all keep viewing, and y'all keep sharing. We thank y'all so much. Outside of that, we will be back here next week. 7:45. Great time. And, man, do y'all have anything to say before I go ahead and let these wonderful people go? And I appreciate y'all.
Everybody continue to share, like, and subscribe. Thank you guys so much for continuing to rock with us. And again, just happy that y'all supporting, happy that y'all, just along with us during this ride. I'm just appreciative, and yeah, that's it. That's it for me right now.
I agree 100%. I'm just happy that Unfiltered exists so that we can have these unfiltered conversations that really help to get us where we need to be.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. And again, it's always good to do this with people that you absolutely love. And it just happens that they happen to be the best podcast host in the freaking world. So that also helps. So thank Ms. Hills and I thank Mr. Reese for just being this bad boy and just all the wisdom and everything that keep coming out. So it's all good. I'll be remiss. I got to say one thing. My big sister, Christy Lee.
Yes.
Babe, I love you so much. My heart is bleeding for you.
Yes, we love you.
She recently lost my Uncle Durrell. Glad that he's in peace.
No more pain.
No longer pain. And I'm glad how he lived his life and everything of that nature to this time frame. It ain't about how you start, it's about how you finish.
Yes, sir.
I know Fifi just went out. But I just want to say to man, the entire family, my goodness, to my Uncle Durrell, Spencer Noble Lee Jr., rest up, love you. Fifi, to Christy, to my auntie Barbara, to my cousin Tone, all the nieces and nephews and brothers and sisters in there. Man, I'm not going to even dare say anything silly like how you feel. Of course, y'all feel some type of way. More than that, especially when it's somebody that's gone. Just know that we're here praying for you. You are in our prayers. And that I just pray that even in the time frames to come, when everybody stop calling and stop checking in on you, that God keeps his arms around you and be with you at every moment, no matter when it comes up in your time of mourning for you. So, again, our hearts going out to you. Just want to let them know that we was thinking about them and they in our prayers.
Sir.
So, on top of that, enjoy y'all. Love y'all. God bless. Keep praying for one another. Keep loving one another. And we will see y'all next week, 7:45, Wednesday. As always.